G'day guys and gal. Warhammer is just a spicy reflection of real life. Nothing displays this more than the Thunder Warriors. Take bodybuilders for example. You find a Lebo that smashes cheap roids on the daily and you get a Thunder Warrior. You find a rich kid with a pharmacist dad who gives him access to various designer steroids and you get David Lade. Or for this example, a Space Marine. Thunder Warriors were the alpha test for super soldiers, and whilst they did a good job at killing irradiated peasants and mutant melee lovers, they had a short shelf life, just like real life Lebos that are juiced to the gills. But were they just a failed precursor to the Astartes, or were they a modified powerhouse in their own right? Before we get started, ding ding ding, we have a winner. Not only did Gaston, the absolute mad lad, buy 3 Majorkill minis, but he painted all 3 of them flawlessly. Like holy shit, I would say this is the best paint job for the Majorkill Terminator Lord and the Space Elf Death Lord I've seen so far, and the Majorkill Space Marine is definitely a contender. Awesome work, man. As always, all of these models, as well as a fantasy-esque, because that's a word, mini, are available on the Majorkill website, ships worldwide, and all prices are in Australian, so cheap as chips. Today we'll go over what a Thunder Warrior is, where they came from, and what happened to them. We'll also compare them to a Space Marine to see if they were inferior in every way, or if the alpha test was actually greater than the beta in some ways. Let's get into it. As I talked about in my last video, which was about the Dark Age of technology, mankind's homeworld of Earth, or Terra as it's called in 40k, was in rough shape. Society had completely collapsed, and the world was ruled by techno-barbarian warlords. If you're wondering what the hell a techno-barbarian warlord is, just imagine Mad Max, but everyone is driving Teslas. However, this had all gone according to the Emperor's plan. See, mankind during the Dark Age of technology was just too overpowered for him. If he tried to take control, they would have just gangbanged him with nanobots and other wacky sci-fi shenanigans. He had to allow for the Age of Strife to occur, in which mankind weakened greatly, and then after that he had to wait for the warp storm spawned from the Eldar's galactic blood orgy to settle down. See, whilst mankind had been killing itself, the Emperor had been chilling in his bat cave in the Himalayas, slowly but surely mastering the art of genetic modification to create super soldiers that would allow him to take over Terra and begin his galactic conquest. Now to his credit, the Emperor managed to make a literal flawless masterpiece on his first proper attempt, that being the Custodes, but they were very difficult to create and could not be created in large enough numbers, so it was on to plan B. The Emperor chose dozens of thousands of warriors out of his armies to go through some pretty crude procedures. Organ implantation, DNA rewrites, muscle and bone grafting, as well as anabolic steroids mixed in with bin juice. This was the recipe to create a Thunder Warrior, a powerful, resilient, and loyal warrior who could tear through normal men like they were nothing. They also boasted some pretty nice gear, using the Mark I power armor, appropriately named as Thunder Armor. This armor was even used by some Space Marines in the super early days. This armor wasn't that good on the grand scheme of things though. Only the top half was actually powered, and it wasn't made by Mars, hence wasn't very technologically advanced. You also couldn't use it in space for obvious reasons. But when your enemy just strap rusted metal to themselves for protection, it's more than enough. They also used the first patent of bolt gun, which, while it had some issues, was extremely effective in mowing crowds down, something that the Thunder Warriors did a lot of. In terms of army organization, each regiment of Thunder Warriors was led by a Primarch. No, not that kind of Primarch, a Thunder Warrior Primarch, who was just a normal Thunder Warrior who displayed a keen ability to command troops. A Thunder Warrior Primarch would get one shot by any of the actual Primarchs. The Emperor, with his huge mortal army backed up by Thunder Warriors and Custodes, was unstoppable. A few thousand Thunder Warriors was enough to wipe out hundreds of thousands of normal dudes. They could turn any battlefield into the cum zone, and with only a few decades, they had conquered Earth in the Emperor's name. Now while some of the credit goes to the Custodes as well as some Astartes who began to emerge towards the end of the Unification Wars, most of it goes to the Thunder Warriors. But injecting anabolic bin juice into Lebos only gets you so far. After a few years, the Thunder Warriors' bodies began to reject the modifications. For some this ended in death, for others it ended in insanity. Some remained unaffected, but the oh shit rate was very high. On top of this, the Thunder Warriors were bred for war and only for war. They were a pretty bad poster boy for the Emperor's cause. It'd be like if every Space Marine was a World Eater. Not good. So as the last enemy of mankind fell in the mountains of Ararat, and the Thunder Warriors celebrated a glorious victory, they were all gunned the fuck down. Now, gunning down your own army because you don't like some of their stats is not a good look, so officially, the Thunder Warriors all died out in glorious battle against the enemy. But yeah, in reality, a bunch of Custodes and Astartes fired upon them whilst they were in a defenseless kill zone. The Thunder Warriors, despite their power, died in droves as they couldn't do shit to protect themselves. The vast majority of Thunder Warriors died that day, however a fair amount were able to escape and go into hiding. It's not really clear how they escaped and hid. Thunder Warriors weren't exactly known for their stealth capabilities, but you know, just roll with it. The Thunder Warriors weren't super stoked about getting genocided, so they planned a revenge attack. Ushotan, who was the Thunder Primarch of the 4th Legion of Thunder Warriors, waved around his Thunder Cock and he charged at the Imperial Palace with a number of his Thunder Lads. Now, they didn't actually think they could beat the Emperor or the Custodes, but they wanted an honourable death in battle and a way of saying fuck you to their dad. Defending the palace were some first generation Astartes and the Custodes. Now here is the interesting part. A Thunder Warrior is actually better in combat versus an Astartes. In a war, the Astartes would win due to better tactics and versatility, but in a straight up scuffle, the Thunder Warriors usually won. Hence Ushotan was butchering a number of Space Marines before he finally fought and was quickly killed by Valdor, who was the Captain General of the Custodes. Ushotan monologued a bit about how he was a real man and that the Custodes were just duty-bound automatons as he lied dying. Valdor actually agreed with him, then finished him off. Was a cool moment in the lore, you should totally check it out. That wasn't all the Thunder Warriors, however. See, the survivors of Mount Ararat split into 4 groups. The first group, led by Ushotan, just wanted to die in battle, hence they Leroy Jenkins at the Imperial Palace. The second group wanted to actually do a proper rebellion and not just suicide by cop, hence they went to the planet of Cerberus, and the third group didn't want to die, and also didn't really blame the Emperor too much for what happened, hence they went into hiding in the undercities of Terra and became crime lords, and the fourth group just joined illegal gladiatorial arenas near the Imperial Palace. We're going to look at the second group, who are the kinda smarter rebels, but not really, they went to Cerberus. These Thunder Warriors waited for the Emperor's Crusade to start, and then they instigated an insurrection on the prison world of Cerberus. The insurrection worked, and over 3 million prisoners were freed and armed. Guardsmen regiments that went to put down the rebellion were slaughtered, as they didn't expect to face big old Thunder Boys in battle. The Emperor was like, these motherfuckers. And he ordered the Warhounds, who would later be called the World Eaters, to go sort it out. Why the Warhounds, I hear you ask? Well, A, it's ironic and kind of funny that the Warhounds had to go fight on Cerberus, and B, all the good legions were already off conquering the galaxy, so the Emperor had to use the trash he had on hand. With the Warhounds involved, the rebellion was crushed, and every single prisoner and Thunder Warrior was massacred. Interestingly enough though, every time a Thunder Warrior was killed, he took 3 to 4 Warhounds with him, which makes me think that the intelligent and more elite Thunder Warriors were the ones that escaped the slaughter of Mount Ararat, whilst the dumbass Thunder Warriors didn't. Killing 3 to 4 Astartes by yourself in a single fight is something only a Custodes, Primarch, or Greater Demon have been seen to reliably do. So, huge props to the Thunder Warriors. Or you know, maybe the Warhounds just fucking suck. The most legendary of all the Thunder Warriors, Arik Taranes, as well as a handful of other Thunder Warriors, were able to form a crime syndicate. Arik was smart enough to figure out a way how to harvest Astarte gene seed and convert it to Thunder Warrior compatible gene seed to slow down the Thunder Warriors' physical deterioration and extend their lifespans dramatically. Don't ask me how he did it, I doubt the Emperor gave him hectic lessons on it, but they sorted it out, hence they remained crime lords all the way up until the end of the Horus Heresy and maybe even beyond. Some Thunder Warriors actually put in a big shift to stop the traitors. Thunder Warrior Herrick helped the Custodes foil an Alpha Legion plot to sabotage Imperial defenders, which cost him his life, whilst other Thunder Warriors ended up being gladiators who either died in the gladiatorial pits or died foiling Alpha Legion plots. Now, whilst it does seem weird that the Thunder Warriors, especially ones that have undergone severe mental degradation, were able to foil the Alpha Legion, considering how smart the Alpha Legion is, but I think it's due to the fact that they lived and breathed the Undercity, meant that they kinda knew it better than the other Imperial forces. The fact that the Thunder Warriors have been genocided like 5 times now shows that GW are really struggling to let them go. Old lore had them all dead at Mount Ararat, newer lore killed them at Cerberus, and now it seems that the 1 or 2 of them could have survived beyond the Horus Heresy. I reckon just let the Thunder fuckers be dead, GW. They put in a good shift, but now it's time for them to go. If you enjoyed the video and you want to support the channel, then Patreon is the place to be, where only $1 per month give you access to a boatload of Warhammer hentai. I should totally get Thunder Warrior hentai, that'd be mad. Hit the subscribe button, then hit the real subscribe button for more thunderous content. Join the Discord for more memes, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.